Hello. Welcome everyone to ZSR 2. Today we're bringing you a Qualifier 4 of the Season 5 Wind Waker Randomizer tournament. And bringing you all the action today will be Godlink and Tuvaman. How are you two?
Doing great.
Anything you're expecting to see out of this?
Shenanigans. Honestly, it could be interesting scenarios. I'd like to see Wind Temple and Earth Temple because those have not appeared yet, I'm pretty sure. It's definitely expecting interesting stuff.
All right. And well, with that, enjoy the race, everyone, and we'll talk to you guys after.
And the runners are off. Instantly going for the Wind Waker dive to get on top of the island.
Yeah,
and
about that.
Starting off with bait bag, that is not the best starting item.
Yeah, starting with bait bag is not a fun item to start with. But since we are starting on Diamond Step, maybe we'll see a couple runners take a quick peek at Needle Rock the second they're done here to see if there's a spike chest that we're going to need early or not.
Yep. Let's see if there's anything here, first of all. Well, first chest is dead.
Let's see what the other one has in store for us. Looks like it's a spiker.
Spiky. Din's Pearl. Did we see dungeons? I don't think so yet.
We haven't seen them quite yet, so that's either going to be something or big old
Or
nothing.
just dead. Please, someone check.
All right. It looks like Elijah's setting up for a super swim here. Meanwhile, we do have Blanc checking her hints. Look away if you are photosensitive. We will tell you when to look back. It looks like both Elijah and Crystal will be going for this.
Yep. Wind Temple is on the path to Ganondorf.
That's a nice hint to have.
Really
and with a paw
nice.
print foolish.
Wow. That...
Oh, you don't see that very often. Okay, Elijah
Perfect
is
Wind
done.
Temple! Finally! And DLC, the 3 dungeons we have not seen yet, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, all super swims are done. We can look right back.
Tower of God, apparently, and not DLC. So,
yes. So, we've
got...
Din
Spell is useful, that's good.
Yes, for sure. So we've got Ice Ring to Godin. Unfortunately, hints are kind of all over the place. That's one of the issues with the early Diamond Step is that everyone's going to be everywhere. We got Power Bracelets on Cyclos, though.
That is good.
Mm-hmm.
Triforce Shard on Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Right, so for anyone that is newer to the scene, what you're seeing going on here with all of them talking to Coral is we have finally gotten hints implemented in Wind Waker. So for Season 5, we've got ourselves 2 things, the big things being the hint, and then chest type matches contents. So as you saw whenever Crystal spawned in the Islet of Steel chest, it ended up being a kind of burgundy spiky chest, and it ended up having a shard. That's the kind of chest that will end up having something. Uh, Meanwhile, just a normal wooden chest will end up not having anything useful for us today. And for our hint, it looks like we had Great Sea Valhalla, Windfall, Mulgara, Ice Ring to Godin, and Wind Temple to Ganon, as we said earlier. So we will be looking out for some of those later on as we continue through the seed.
Yeah.
And yes, as Vim is pointing out, that is the worst dungeon combo you can get in 3-dungeon race mode. We have both
True.
temples and Tower of the Gods. Very slow today.
The real long ones.
Mm-hmm. So we see Crystal going to Windfall immediately, while Blanc and Elijah are both going to
Cliff Plateau.
Cliff Plat. Yep. I personally would prefer to go to Cliff Plat earlier. You can often do it the fastest and without a barren hint for either of those areas, if I remember correctly. It's just a pretty high value play, especially since you can put off Windfall hoping for maybe a Picto or a delivery bag.
Yep. That would help a lot. A sword on mother and child.
Very nice find.
That is a good damage boost for the run.
Alright, so you might have seen Crystal talk to the ship with storage, something we haven't talked about a lot yet. But now she's moving around with what we call lights off door cancel, but talking to the kids here to start the hide and seek quest turns them back on. And you're not going to notice anything too crazy for a little bit from Crystal here, but as oh, nope, just kidding. Jumping right through the wall to get to this kid. This is kind of a different route from what I've seen. Yeah. Ooh, we've got a delivery bag here from Symphonic. That is a big find before getting really to Windfall.
We also have, from what I've seen, Blanc stored a Triforce shard, probably from Cliff Plateau.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Symphonic deciding to come to DRI first. Use the telescope to see a spiky chest up there, which is in logic with this with this pair.
So both chests having something. Oh, another. Ooh. Okay, this was Cliff Plateau. It was really useful. Ghost Ship chart as well. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So Crystal getting a bow from Tot here means that the Cyclos power bracelets are now in logic. I would not be surprised if she decides to go get that before, right after, considering, what you call it, you have the bait bag and you'd like to get those bracelets before going to Outset.
True. We also have, we saw on Symphonic's screen that he got what was it in the chest again?
I won't lie, I missed it. I got too distracted by that bow.
Yeah.
Ooh, but getting a bottle.
Bottle, that's good. Grandma. Grandma saving grandma. How ironic.
Mm-hmm. And yes, all three of the pearls, Dins, Nerus, and Ferors, will be needed to open the Tower of the Gods. So Crystal did Lenzo door cancel there. That's the whole reason
Blanc
get the door cancel.
Blanc got a Picto box as well, so it was probably stored from Cliff Plateau. Except if I
Yes,
missed a
indeed.
check. So that's really good for, like, Windfall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Elijah has not marked that on his personal tracker yet, but according to Vim, Elijah got it there as well. So hopefully he
Okay.
realizes that. That'll be on
Mila
and a
with
grappling
grappling look. Nice.
So you could full clear Paw Print to the seed first trip.
Iron
Unfortunately,
boots.
it's
I'm
foolish.
pressing.
Yep.
Bombs
And
as
bombs.
well in Auction House. Wow.
Very loaded early game
Tingle
today.
with the Tingle statue. That's 2. Bad dungeons, but love good items at the start.
And Elijah is, I do not believe
A
Elijah
shield
got,
from Bomb Mail. We
did
do
not
need
get
2 shields, so...
Yep,
That's good.
Elijah did not get door cancel here, so I am wondering if he is going to opt to do Picto Box with Mila.
Probably.
Doing Mila storage. So...
A really good
So
set
getting a little
of
troll here.
items.
Yes, for sure. Crystal finishing up hide and seek, going to be our first one doing it. Getting just a little bit of money, nothing too great.
Maybe Miss Murray holding something. Apparently, prison has some. The back of prison does have an item. Neru's
Pearl from
Pearl.
Miss Marie.
Ferror's
And
Pearl.
Ferror's. All right, that's
Totji.
Totji. Basically, not logically able to be beaten, but our runners will be able to beat it with just these items. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them waited for a leaf, though.
Leafless first floor skip is a thing, if any of the runners know it.
Alright, so the big thing for Crystal is she did not get that Picto before coming, neither did Symphonic.
Yeah.
So,
will that hold
Pompey
something?
Vera, yeah, Pompey and Vera can end up being a big decider here.
The biggest killing blow would be if Pompey and Vera had Leaf. I think that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely a stacked, start for having really bad dungeons. It definitely helps.
And the nice thing is having the Wind Temple to Ganondorf hint. If we end up getting a lot of items early and it ends up coming down to a 50-50 of do I go to Earth Temple or do I go to Wind Temple, that hint is going to help give our runners a little more direction.
Yeah.
Basically saying, okay, I know that there's at least something in Wind Temple, so I should probably go there first. Which was one of the big reasons why we wanted to incorporate hints in the first place, to get rid of some of those rough
choices.
Yes. Does Wind Waker have path hints for Ganondorf? Yes. We have 4 path hints today. The first one we got was Great Sea is on the path to Jalhalla. Windfall Island on the path to Mulgara, in which, at this point, that could be a lot of things. Ice Ring is on the path to Godin. And Wind Temple on the path to Ganon. The one that interests me the most currently is the Ice Ring to Godin, because we are only missing 2 items for Godin, and that is our Command Melody or our Leaf, and we need both of those to beat the game today.
Yeah. I'm curious about Wind Temple to Ganondorf, honestly. I'm trying to think of what that could be, but apart from a sword or arrows...
It's probably just gonna be a shard or a sword.
Yeah. Shard, yeah, as well.
Now, we do see Crystal here opting to do Mila, did not do storage up to the House of Wealth. She did that previously, so she's just going to have to sit around and wait a little bit. Might take the ship over at risk of getting repoed, but no, it just looks like she's just gonna go wait for Mila by the stairs. To note, with our Great Sea to Jahala hint, we know that it cannot be the power bracelets on Cyclos because we got that as a different hint entirely. So there's something else on the Great Sea that will be passed to Jahala. It could be that delivery bag.
Yeah. It could be a lot of things.
It could be whatever is on our salvage core, which will be an interesting check this seed since Paw Print is foolish.
It's going to be interesting to see when it gets routed in, since it's just in the middle of nothing.
My guess is they will probably route it in with the Cyclos on Northern Triangle. Just because there is a salvage core right next to that Cyclos.
Mila only holding money.
Classic Mila.
It could be another shield, yeah. Jahala could be another shield.
Crystal took the time to peek the transparent chest. It looked like it did not have any spikes today, so our only chance for fire and ice on Windfall paying out is our boy Creep. Alright, Blanc is about to check Pompey Vera. Let's see if this ends up changing anything today.
Boomerang.
It's a boomerang. It's cool.
It's good to have a banana, but...
Some seeds, I'd be ecstatic to see that. Some seeds, specifically without Forbidden Woods, is just kind of there.
Not a big loss for the runners who haven't done...
Oh, Crystal.
Oof.
So Crystal is doing a strat here to get Cyclos at Mother and Child Island. By storing the inside, she'll be able to then spawn on the outside of the island by voiding out on that post, and then do Cyclos here.
Because basically those for, yes, if you're inside the island, Cyclos is chilling outside.
Which we haven't talked a ton about storage. For people that have been at the come to some of these races, you know the power of storage. But for those of you that might be a little newer to the scene, storage is kind of a very powerful strat that we allow that is kind of like a Swiss Army knife for Wind Waker. You can do a lot of things with it, and it does a lot to speed up the game and make it just kind of not just a sailing simulator.
Existing walls and a lot of just basically just a lot of stuff gets unlocked with storage.
Yes, indeed. Alright, so as I said earlier, Elijah is looking like he is going to store Maggie's door to get up to the top.
I'm going to see outset from Crystal. Nothing new right now, everyone just doing what everyone did.
Yeah, there's a lot of backtracking back and forth. The only person that we're really seeing clear any new checks right now is Crystal, who is on set. Unfortunately, would have been able to full clear with the bottle, but did not find that before going to outset.
True.
It's still going to be a pretty solid clear regardless, being able to do everything but Grandma.
cheese on top lens there.
Alright, so trying to see. Oh, Blanc is probably just going to go to Cliff Plateau. No, she's been to Cliff already. So, if you store the chest and it has a required item, you can get it through a couple means. You can either enter a loading zone, you can void out, or if you are sailing through quadrants, you can enter another quadrant. The important thing is to not save warp while you have storage with a required item, because otherwise you will permanently lose that item.
Soft locked, basically.
Yes. For Season 5, it was a little scarier to do storage. We still did it anyways, but very clean roll clip from Crystal. It was just a little scarier because we did not have chest type matches contents. So it was it was a gamble whether or not you stored a required item. So basically you just always assumed it had a required item and didn't think about it otherwise.
Shard on Jaboon.
I believe that was hinted.
Yeah, it was hinted.
Mm-hmm. We're finding a lot of the overworld cheese early on, which is very nice.
Yeah, which is very good, because if it can tone down to just 3 pieces missing, it's the 3 dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
An interesting note as well, which doesn't seem noticeable because Big Pig is vanilla here. Big Pig for Season 5 is randomized colors.
Which is very fun, but also threw me off a lot.
Always a fun thing to say, even though most of the time it's going to throw off runners.
Mm-hmm. So we saw Symphonic pick up the salvage core here.
Yeah.
With Cyclos, and we're going to see Elijah do the same. And Symphonic actually got Maggie's letter. So we have the delivery bag as well that we can use with that. Also, we got to see the fun Pig Yeet trademark from Crystal.
The cheese.
Okay, so Blanc here is actually going to take a early dip into Earth Temple, probably just to open the warp pot.
Yep. Which is pretty good for travel-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the nice thing about this, I am assuming this Blanc's late game plan is to do everything that they can, and then opt to do Wind Temple first. And then whenever they have nothing left and they're done with Wind Temple, they'll just take the warp from Wind Temple straight to Earth Temple, which I think is a pretty solid plan.
I'm trying to think of what options we've got. And at this point, Tower of the Gods doesn't seem like the most far-fetched option.
I think Tower of the Gods is going to end up being early on. The big thing that I'm looking at, if I were running this seed, looking at my path hints, that Great Sea to Jalhalla hint is interesting, and the Ice Ring to Godin is really interesting.
Yeah, Ice Ring is going to be interesting to see. What is that? It's just a map. Back.
And it looks like Sim is going to be doing something very similar here to what Blanc did. So we're probably going to see a lot of things overlap. We see a lot of people going to DRI, whereas Sim actually did that early on. I think there's a good chance we're going to see DRI into Crescent, into potentially Ghost Ship from a lot of our runners.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be in the cards for either Elijah or Crystal, for Ghost Ship specifically, just because they have gone through an entire day-night cycle with Mila.
Yeah.
And this is something that I don't think we saw from Symphonic whenever Sim was here. sim does not do storage.
And so here we can see that Elijah did storage to go underneath the item and island and check. The chest was useless, but if in the case the chest was useful, Elijah would have just said, "I don't know what a wall is," and just climbed the island.
It's a very cool strat.
It's always fun to discard walls.
Always. Alright, and yep, just as I kind of figured, it looks like Elijah is going to be making his way to Crescent from here. Pulling out the telescope. It looked a little blurry on my screen, but he's going for it, so I'm assuming it must be spiky.
Yep.
But with Blanc's routing here, she will be able to get Ghost Ship here at Crescent.
And if anyone is wondering, all runners start with the telescope so that they can check from afar if chests are good or not. So that it helps with CTMC, basically. It's convenience, so that the runners don't need to just go to an island, see that the chest is bad, and just leave.
Yes, it is very nice.
Always good to save time.
So I'm interested to see what Blanc will end up finding in the Ghost Ship here. Since they spawned on Diamond Step and they all did that early, it's going to be kind of hard for both Elijah and Crystal to route it in. The next best place will be Bomb Island, but that's a long ways out.
Oh,
that is an entire 2 day-night cycles. It looks like Ghost Ship is a spiky chest, so we will see a commit here.
Yep.
It's nice to do Ghost Ship with Leaf.
Yeah, to just skip this whole annoying part.
Yep, you can just say, nope, I don't want to do it, and just move on with your day.
Boomerang finding a use.
We'll take it. We will take it.
We can see Symphonic checking the top branch for not Forbidden Woods, Forest Haven. Crystal doing the whole Cliff Plateau and Bird's Peak. I think it's Bird's Peak. Rock Island combo. Let's see Ghost Ship.
It's a wallet. Okay, so not
mail.
Not. It's not necessarily anything yet, but we will see.
Not yet.
But Sim did find Skullhammer up here on top of Tree Branch. It's not necessarily the most useful item. However, for someone who is storageless, like Symphonic plays, he's probably very happy to see that, because he will need that to get into Wind Temple and to get halfway through Earth Temple. Also, ZSR4 with a party of 70. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome to the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 5. We've got a lot of crazy things going on. If you've not seen any Wind Waker before, big difference between this season from any other season is we have a few more viable hints that we can actually use along with chest-type matches contents. And you're going to see a lot of crazy things happening with our runners doing tricks such as storage or any sort of clips. And just try and beat the game.
From Wallet Mail. So, still not an answer if Ghost Ship is useful or not. But...
And with that Windfall Island and Mulgara still not being answered yet, anything's possible.
And with Moblin's letter just getting acquired, might be something. Blanc going to save Grandma. So that'll put full closure on Outset Island. Oh, one of the stored items was a Tinkle statue, apparently.
It will be a little unfortunate that it ended up being the top chest that had the Picto for Sim. Considering what was on the top? Was it just a shard
What on?
on Lenzo? I believe it was just a shard.
It was just a shard, yeah.
That won't end up being the worst thing. There is another Picto out there for him to find.
Yeah.
Speaking of shards, I must have missed the Pig shard earlier. That's pretty awesome. I think that's 4 out of 5 of our Overworld shards taken care of.
I think, yeah, because there's one at Isle of Steel, one at Big Pig, one at Bird's Peak, Lenzo, yeah, and no, Bird's Peak wasn't a shard, right?
No, I think we had Islet, Jaboon.
Jaboon's the 4th.
Yep. So we are finding a lot of them.
We're only missing one on the Overworld.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma with a feather. Grandma out there to tickle us. Crystal checking Bomb Island.
This will be our first Bomb Island check today.
Yay.
Also, we saw a lot of our runners do a storage strategy to get into Bird's Peak early. If you're not comfortable with doing storage, or just opt not to do it like Sim, I'm a little late saying this because it's already been done, but he actually was able to use the grappling hook to clip himself into the island and gets himself straight into Bird's Peak without having to do the very long puzzle.
Yes. A really useful clip. Bomb Island having something useful.
Speaking of skipping puzzles, we do not get to do that today in Bomb Island. Using the telescope, we get to peek the chest a little early, hoping that it's dead, but if not, at least we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of runners opt not to not to take an early dip into Tower of the Gods. It's pretty much open for all of our runners. It's just a matter of actually
I think it's just choice. It's just getting as many items as possible before dipping. It's not a dungeon you'd want to need to go back to 2, 3, 4 times.
The biggest thing is Tower of the Gods. My personal philosophy, another Sword and Bomb Island.
Sword and Bomb Island.
My other philosophy with Tower of the Gods, it is a very slow dungeon. That's just... So if you have the means to do it, I like to do it. However, if you don't have Leaf, I also think that it is perfectly acceptable to wait until you get that.
Yeah.
So I do not blame nor am I shocked that any of these runners are taking the time to do other things first.
Oh yeah, no, that's completely normal. Usually with long dungeons, you'd want to keep them away for as long as possible.
That being said, the second that we see a leaf, I would personally immediately just rush it. Because it's not going to be much faster to do it any other time.
Oh yeah.
If it has the opportunity to have any other items, I just commit to it, take the time.
Another vanilla ghost ship over here.
Crystal was able to get it at Bomb Island. I missed if she had to play any songs of passing. That was a really nice double hit with the Master Sword, though.
I'm pretty sure Crystal needed just to play once, which isn't too bad. It's not exactly that
could be way worse.
Trying to think. Moblin's Letter is one of the last checks we've got left, I'm pretty sure, and that's from doing all the whole shenanigans around ghost ships, and so you get Wallet that gives you Moblin's Letter, and Moblin's Letter could give something we haven't seen the check yet.
We do have Blanc going back to Windfall, so we could be seeing it here.
Probably.
There's also Maggie's Letter that we haven't seen yet, and we haven't seen Zunari, though I can't remember if that was hinted or not.
No clue.
So that's 3 delivery bag checks. That could be our ghost ship to Jahala. And it looks like Blanc is going to be picking up the Town Flower here, so I'm going to assume Zunari has not been hinted yet. I would say that those are pretty high priority checks right now. And speaking of priority, it looks like Crystal is actually going to take the time to come here and get whatever is on top of the cabana, which is interesting.
I guess might as well, since Crystal, she still needs to check mail also. Might as well do it on this island.
And Sim actually is right there with her. So we're going to see 2 people do this long Wind Waker dive, kind of not like super precise, but having to set up that angle is a little rough sometimes. Just going to dive under the item. Alright, so that's one more that we know is nothing.
Ship dead. Tingle statue for Crystal.
Yep. And considering I believe we got a Tingle Island Foolish hint, that is an unfortunate find.
Yeah. Oh yes, the irony of saying go ship dead. And yes. Blanc dipping Tower of the Gods.
I personally think that a first floor dip of Tower of the Gods, if you don't have Leaf, really is not that slow. We see Crystal doing the same thing.
It's not slow at all. I mean, first floor could get skipped as well, even without a Leaf. Crystal doing the same.
Actually, we have a lot of people committing to Tower of the Gods right now. Where are the hints in Wind Waker? We actually put all of them on our trusty ship, the King of Red Lions. If you talk to him, he'll just give you every single hint.
Before it used to be the fishmen that were just in the sea, if I remember correctly.
Yep, so you would... And that was unfortunately not the
slow, so no one would do it.
Yeah, it was several things. First off, it was slow. It required you to have the bait bag. And then third, the item hints were unfortunately just very unreliable. Because sometimes you could get like, oh yeah, there is a sword in Earth Temple, and you're like, ah, sweet. Sometimes you could get like, there's like a shard on Windfall. It's like, okay, I've already got this. So with the combination of it being unreliable and being in just a very slow, out-of-the-way location that had item requirements, it was just it left a lot to be desired. But luckily, one of the great community members, Tanjo3, took it upon himself to take some time to code some new hints. So we now have path hints. And we put it all on Coral so that we could get them really quickly and so that it would be fair in a competitive standpoint.
Leaf on Hop Across, that would be really fun.
If we see a Leaf on Hop Across, that's just going to be soul crushing.
And what else? Oh yeah, earlier we also had our first look at a blue chest in dungeons for the small key or big key chest. Oh, it is spiky. Oh no.
Oh boy, what do we got? It's a Tingle statue.
That is unfortunate.
This is a certified #skip hop across moment, and I am all here for it.
I mean, at this point, it's #skip first floor Tower of the Gods, because apart from the small key, nothing has been here.
Yeah. So that just kind of leads us to the point of like, is it? Because I don't think we have a ton left. Is it going to be further in Tower of the Gods, or is it going to be on
Trading
Tsunari?
quests. I feel like trading quests might be the answer.
And we're going to see
Moblins-
Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah checking the letter. Well, mailman, technically. Oh,
Yep.
that's a more accurate name for the check.
What else do we have? Do we have anything else like that we haven't seen in Logic yet? I don't know if anyone's checked top of Angular yet.
No one's been telling me that yet.
I don't know if that was hinted dead or not. That's something that I missed.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anything.
Hmm.
Let's see, we'll see. Maybe Mailman has a leaf.
Big thing is just that we still have a Windfall Island path to Mulgara that has not been fulfilled yet. So,
Training quest.
oh, unfortunate for Blanc.
Yeah. Training quest might be it. The mailman here could be it. Who knows?
That is a
No.
Knight's Crest.
So training quest is probably a good item. I don't even want to say because at this point anything could go.
At this point, it's just unfortunate for basically every runner except for Symphonic. Because the only person that got that delivery bag before their first trip to Windfall was Symphonic.
Symphonic trying to go for floor 1 skip.
Oh, Blanc. Just push the box, Blanc. Just push it.
Oh, Great Fish exists. Does Great Fish have anything?
Considering Elijah took the long way around, I'm going to assume it was Hinted Baron.
Probably.
There is a very easy peek as you go toward the trading merchant.
Mail is dead, Vinny.
So that is the exotic flower for Elijah. He immediately turned right back around to Windfall after accidentally talking. Oh, I did see Great Fish Foolish there during that text spam, though, so...
So it was hinted.
I won't lie, the only hints that I got around to writing down were the path hints.
Oh my god, at this point, there is not that many things left.
I'm thinking we really only have the upper of Tachi, we've got Zunari, and we've got the Angular peak. It's not Zunari.
Angular?
It could be Angular, and it could be the top of Tachi.
I mean, Symphonic giving us new info since PE managed to do floor 1 skip.
Looks like Elijah is warping to Great Fish again. I'm not sure what for here. Oh, there's Needle Rock, the Needle Chest. That's another one we forgot about.
I think someone checked it earlier.
I think someone did. I can't remember if it was good or not.
I think it was bad because I don't remember anyone actually setting foot on the island.
If they checked it, they would have checked it early, and they might not have had a item. I don't know. I'm going to assume it's dead until further notice, though.
Yeah. Seeing how Elijah's going there, probably saw it earlier but didn't want to do it.
That's a spiky chest.
Yeah, probably just Oh, they didn't have a pair earlier.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. If someone looked at it early, they probably saw it after doing Diamond Step or Iota Steel.
Yeah.
So there's a very, very good chance that this ends up being something. And it is Sphere Zero, because we started with the bait bag.
Yeah. Fire and
It's
ice.
Fire and Ice. That's
Opens
a
up
rude
now.
place.
Yeah, that is.
However, that's going to be a big deal since our Ice Ring is path to Godin. That could be our leaf.
Yeah.
I could see Elijah just straight rushing that once he is done with his cave.
Wait, path to Godin. Okay, Elijah might get light arrows.
Well, it won't be for...
Because it's gonna be a bow. It could be a bow. Since
Could
you
not
need
be a bow. I mean, there can be a bow, but it can't be path to Godin.
Really?
No, because if it's an Ice Ring to Godin hint, then you already have a bow that you need. The only way that a bow can be path to Godin is if it is the only bow that you can
Oh, if you can
to
get at that
access.
point. Okay.
For example, if like the first bow is somewhere in the overworld, the second one is on Cyclos, and then the third one is on in a fire ice check, then that bow could be path to Godin because it has to be your first bow. However, in this case, we had 2 Sphere Zero bows, so bow cannot be path to Godin in this case.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm. The only 2 things that can be on Ice Ring here, or that could be led to something on Ice Ring, is going to be the Leaf or the Command Melody, in which both are hard required. So, using ice arrows on the ice, very nice.
And a good chest there, so. I haven't seen anything particular from second floor Tower of the Gods.
Not yet.
Cabana Deed.
Cabana Deed. Okay, that's
and
interesting.
We've got Hammer as well. And Grapple, so...
Yeah, that is in logic. It's just a matter of, do you have the items for it? And considering the hammer is on the tree branch, that's very rude. But Elijah does have that already.
Yep, so...
It looks like Crystal is hot on Elijah's trail. Gonna be getting her fire and ice arrows soon. And there was nothing else in Ice Ring, so whatever is our path to Godin is inside of Cabana.
Yep.
I would like to note that we still do not have Hookshot yet, so we could not break into Cabana early, and it's going to end up being a little slower as a result. So that's just rude.
Nothing particular. Tower of God is the most useless dungeon right now.
Yeah.
The only item it gave was an item that leads to a location that's barren. So for now, this seed is actually... I don't want to say painful because it's really linear, I'd say, depending on how you do your checks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still evil.
Yeah, I would argue that this is a pretty mean seed so far. Like, we're about 50 minutes in, Elijah still has not dipped a dungeon. And it's all 3 of the longest dungeons.
When you see that we've got like these items for nothing, Elijah missing that and losing a bit of time.
Make it back. It's not a problem. It's just kind of annoying. That is a fair amount of time lost.
Yeah.
15 minutes in and missing a sword, a shard, and a bow. Don't forget about everything else that we need too. We also need a leaf. We need a Hookshot. We need Command Melody. We prefer another shield, and depending on where items are placed, that could also be required.
True.
So we're not out of the woods yet.
It would be good if it was only a sword and a shard and a bow.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this much. So Crystal is about to get her Cabana deed here. She does not have the Skull Hammer. She has not done Tree Branch.
True.
So my question is she going to end up doing Hammerless Cabana, or will she put it off until she finds that hammer? Crystal bail out of Tachi. She did first 4 and then left. She's basically just hoping for the leaf before having to commit.
A leaf in... Oh my god.
Okay, so that confirms that it is Command Melody inside of Tachi.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, inside of Cabana. That's rough.
Yeah, really rough.
Very good for Symphonic. That is a great find.
Yeah. Really good decision to do floor 1 skip for Symphonic and Blanc as well. That is a disgusting location.
Yeah. The only place that would have potentially been worse is the chest that Sim is opening now, or the one on top. But that's a mirror shield.
That is good to have. Command Melody, yeah.
I'm just going to say it now. This seed is pretty mean.
Really mean.
So we know that the Command Melody has to be inside of Cabana, and it looks like Elijah is probably on the way to it here. Oh, nope.
Thinking of...
did he...
Toji is not that loaded. It has really good items. Far from loaded.
The big things, trying to think here. We got Great Sea Path to Jalhalla. What did that... Oh! You know what? It was. Because it was the delivery bag, and you need the delivery bag to get into the Cabana.
Hookshot.
That's a hookshot on top of...
Angular.
That's a really mean place to put the hookshot.
Oh my god.
Whenever the leaf is that late. That's just mean.
Okay, that just means that for our 2 runners who are doing Tower of Gods, that just helps for the cave.
Yeah, it's going to be good for Sim and Blanc, because both of them are going to be able to...
Since they can full clear this.
And they're going to have leaf, so that they're going to think they can anyways, and then they're just going to find the hook while they're there.
Crystal just dipping, so I suppose it was useless. I could not see if the chest was spiky or not. Could Fire Mountain be something?
Yes, Crystal couldn't get it either way.
Yeah.
I was more talking about for Blanc in Symphonic, since they're going to have Mirror Shield by the time they get there. But Crystal could peek it at least, so...
Let's see from Elijah what Fire Mountain is.
That's a big old mountain right there.
Yep. Long Island for nothing.
We do have something here at the top of Tachi. It's a note to Mom.
Okay, so... Depending on what this is, Toji might actually be stacked. for now, I still think Totji has a good item.
Mm-hmm. Taji has the best item in the game, but also
Yes.
another shield, and that's about it. The
Yeah,
only issue is that was the only thing like that, and it was all in the back. You'd prefer to have that item, so it's just a
Notamam
little
could be
trophy.
something really good. It could be our final shard or anything else.
Mhm. That being said, so we know where basically everything is at this point in terms
Yes.
of progression items. The only things that we have left are a sword, a shard, and a bow.
Yeah.
Now, important thing is that we know that Wind Temple's path to Ganon, so we know at least one of them is in Wind Temple. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of where are the other two. Where was second sword? One of them. I'm drawing a blank on where both of them were. Oh my goodness.
I think
Enjoy
one
it.
was on. I think one was on BPR, right?
One was on Mother and Child, yes.
Yeah,
What's the
Mother and
other one?
Child. I think the other one was Bird's Peak Rock, right?
Can't remember. It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Oh my god, I just now realized the Windfall Island path to Mulgara. So I think the Windfall path to Mulgara was actually for the grappling hook so that you could get the hammer on the top of tree.
Yeah. That
So these
seems like the only.
these path hints have been kind of mean.
Just not even mean, just weird.
Yeah. Do you need to beat required dungeons, or does race mode make them a possibility? You do need to beat them. As you're going to see coming up here from Symphonic, the heart container for Godin is going to be a Triforce shard. You need to have all of the Triforce shards to enter the Hyrule Warp to then go down and beat the game. Snot Shard for Sim. Going to be our first dungeon done at about an hour.
Nice.
That's not great. Especially whenever the other two dungeons are not Tower of the Gods, Wind Temple and Earth Temple.
Yes.
We also have a runner who has not entered a dungeon yet.
Tower of God isn't exactly the like slowest, but it's just annoying. Second runner checking, and I genuinely cannot make out what was on Angular Cave. Probably nothing.
Hopefully nothing, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Alright, here comes everyone's favorite part of the restream. We've got Symphonic Link as Grandma going in to save Grandma, so we're going to get Grandmaception here for a second.
Leaf was at the back of Tower of Gods, because that is the nicest place it could have been. Basically pain.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be real. I'd prefer it in the back of Tower of the Gods over, like, Earth Temple basement.
Oh, of course.
But it's not much
It's
higher
not
of a bar.
exactly good, because Elijah's obviously gonna do everything. I don't see Elijah not doing the skip.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think at this point Elijah has nothing left.
Yeah, no, yeah,
So,
basically.
it's a slight lie. I think with his item set, he can do the first chest in Wind Temple a couple chests in Earth Temple.
Yeah, but
He's-
no one dips those.
Yeah, he's not going to.
Honestly, no one goes into them. Fire and ice helping with this check.
And poor Elijah is also going to have the fire and ice for hop across if he opts to do it. And it would end up helping him if it were a dead chest. Unfortunately, it is going to be spiky and bait him to go across, and all for just a tingle statue.
Yeah.
As you can see here, Symphonic was the first one done with a dungeon, but unfortunately, still has a lot of overworld that a lot of other people
less
have done.
overworld done compared to the other free runners who all have, I want to say, approximately all the same checks.
Yeah, basically. So it's nice that we're not going to get a quad forest temple, but we're still going to be seeing things that we've seen already. So it's just going to kind of be the next 15, 20 minutes is going to be a lot of things that we've seen.
It's going to be a minute until we see something new, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Blanc. Maybe she's going to do some new stuff.
Mm-hmm. The big thing with Blanc is that she still doesn't have Command Melody, Hook Shot, or the Skull Hammer. Right. So that still is going to be something that they need to get before moving on to another dungeon.
Well, Wind Temple specifically, since Hammer is needed to get in.
You do need Hammer for basically the entirety of Earth Temple as well.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, the key logic basically says you just need Hammer for the entire dungeon.
Elijah being disappointed.
Hashtag skip hop across.
No, Elijah, do not leave, please.
I doubt he's going to leave. It's faster.
Yeah,
you have to save warp out of here because you can't go backwards because he didn't lower the gate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yay, yep. 1 hour of pain.
1 hour.
Ooh,
Crystal.
Symphonic drumming.
Oh, Symphonic must have done the Jabun strat. So this is something that we haven't seen yet. We have not seen golf yet because we haven't seen people in the overworld with the leaf yet.
Yes.
Right. That strat, since Symphonic had not done Jabun's cave yet, if it ends up being dead, it's actually faster to go out and drown in the whirlpool, and that because it places your boat closer to Horseshoe. So if you're going to go to Horseshoe afterwards, it's just better to do that.
Golf.
If you're going to do Jabun's cave.
No to mum with nothing. Yay.
And Symphonic is now doing everyone's favorite, what feels like 2-hour check.
This is a check that just takes long.
Mm-hmm. The P-Hat giving Sim some issues as well, so...
Also, let's note that these P-Hats are terrifying.
They are. Oh, we've got a spike chest, though.
Oh.
I'm trying to think. Do we even have, that many bait items left? We haven't seen the second pick, though.
Could be second pick.
That's the last sword.
Final sword. Okay, so golf is required. We are only missing a bow and a shard. Well,
And we know one of
knowledge.
them is in Wind Temple.
Yeah.
Symphonic is going to Diamond Step here.
Wind is Jalhala Temple, right?
No, Wind is
Okay.
Mulgavin Temple.
Ah, sad. It would have been ironic if light arrows were in the temple where the boss literally takes damage from it.
Yeah, right. Oh, I see. Symphonic plans to get Ghost Ship here. That makes sense.
Yes.
Unfortunately, coming at like the perfect time so that you would have to like sit around and wait for the Ghost Ship, or play Song of Passing, which will not work because it just passed the threshold. You see him doing a save quit here. I don't think that's quite going to work. Just going to have to wait it out, and there's the ship.
The sheep. Spooky sheep. Blanc about to get another sword. Was Bomb Island the sword?
It might have been. I genuinely cannot remember.
Yeah, I think it might have been Bomb Island now that I'm thinking about it.
We do not have a lot left in terms of bait items, because we have all of the mail separately throughout all of our runners, that is. We have the boomerang. We found all 5 Tingle statues. So really the only things that can be left are any extra bottles or wallets that aren't in the logic, that just got placed into logical checks. Which could be anywhere from 4 to 0. Any new spike chests that we find are going to end up holding a lot of value.
Big value. It's
Really?
fine. Vimy, it's fine. Vimilia, it's fine, honestly.
The nice thing about Season 5 seeds, in my opinion, is that even
They're
bad
always
seeds,
entertaining. Even the bad
that
ones
too.
are entertaining.
But even bad seeds, like, are not usually that bad. Like, overall, Season 5 is a lot less, like, I guess, like, it's not as hard as what Season 4 was.
This with Season 4 would have been a 3-hour seed. And
Yeah,
3 hours, I think, is nice.
Especially since with the sometimes hints, you do just often get to skip a couple of the harder or longer checks. And yep, there's the sword that we saw earlier. So, like, although seeds can still be bad, it's not so bad that you're sitting there banging your head against every single bad check. You get to skip some of them, and that makes it a little more bearable.
It's just that in this case, when you have a hint that literally says that Tingle Island is barren and you keep on getting the the Tingle statues.
That does indeed suck a little bit, but yeah, that leaf placement it's probably the worst part, just because a lot of these runners. Another thing that the hints in CTMC has done, since it's very new and we're not quite sure what to do with the meta yet, it has become a lot more full clear meta is no longer you're just going to sit down and follow an algorithm and hope to just full clear the seed as fast as possible.
Yeah.
A lot more people are willing to take risks and try to do things faster for the sake of saving time. It feels a lot more like rewarding for routing as opposed to just only execute, which in my opinion is a big plus.
Blung about to get her hammer.
And then from here, I wouldn't be shocked if she went to Angular and got the hook shot.
Yeah.
Now, you'll see that Blanc didn't quite make it, but that's okay, because she's going to void out and just land right up top here. So although you need a lot of height, it doesn't have to be so precise that you need to land on top, which is very nice. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you.
No, it's fine, go on. Hard to see. Oh no, wait, that's not hard at all to see.
Yeah, you just got to get yourself into a position. A lot of items, they're on a rotation whenever they're freestanding.
Yeah.
So it will take a second to see, but once they're onto the right rotation, it's pretty easy to get a quick peek.
So now we have Crystal and Elijah getting the back half of Tower of Gods.
Mm-hmm. Since we've been seeing a lot of the repeat checks, I just wanted to quickly plug a couple things here. So since Season 5 has been starting up, there's obviously a place where we're all getting together to reconvene and get all of these seeds going. If you want to join us and maybe try out a couple Wind Waker seeds yourself, go ahead and check out the Wind Waker Randomizer Discord. There's both the actual Randomizer Discord itself and the Racing Discord. And then also, shout-outs to our lovely trackers, Vanilla and Lyric. Both of them, this would not be possible without their help. Our trackers here at ZSR are horribly underrated. They do so much. Thank you so much. And thank you to my co-commentator, Godlink, for helping me provide a little bit of insight into what's going on with these races. There's a lot of great things happening, exciting things happening in the Wind Waker randomizer community. I'm excited to see how Season 5 ends up panning out.
Yes, it's going to be like interesting to see how it pans out moving forward. Especially with this season getting a lot of traction with all the qualifying races being really stacked.
Overall, right now, the numbers from Season 4 to Season 5 have technically dipped a little bit, but not so much that it's like a big noticeable amount. And a lot of that is just because of, normal people move on and do other things. Yo, what a big raid. ZSR main with 101. Thank you for coming in.
Hello, Raiders.
So welcome on to Wind Waker Randomizer. What you're seeing going on here is one of the qualifiers for our Season 5 tournament coming right up. You're going to see a lot of crazy things, people doing things with like storage, and routing in with some of our new things such as hints and chess-type matches contents. A lot of great things happening here in the Wind Waker community, and we're super excited to be showcasing it here on ZSR today.
And for those wondering, there is going to be, if I recall correctly, another qualifier tomorrow, and the final three will be next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
What is go mode for Wind Waker Rando again? The big things that we're looking for is we need all three of the swords to break the barrier. So you need the fully powered Master Sword. You need the light arrows in order to snipe down Puppet Ganon, as we do ban both Barrier Skip and PG Skip. And you need all 8 pieces of the Triforce in order to open the warp down to the barrier. So, the big thing about the shards is that 3 of them will show up onto boss heart containers for something that we call race mode. So whatever is needed to beat those bosses will also be required for go mode. No mode, lights. We've got 2 things left.
Yeah.
Sorry. We've got 2 things left. We've got light arrows, and we've got 1 more shard. We do have a path hint that Wind Temple is on the path to Ganon. So we know at least one of those is in Wind Temple. It's just a matter of where the other one is.
Seeing Blanc doing golf right now, and we saw earlier that this is going to be her final sword.
The big thing for Blanc at this point is Blanc does not have those fire and ice arrows from Needle Rock yet. So that is
Yes,
something. That's something that she's going to want to find coming up pretty soon, so that she can then go to Ice Ring and get the Cabana deed, so that she knows to go to Cabana.
as we will see Symphonic go ahead to now, I think. Oh no, Symphonic is heading to Angular to get
And
Hawkshot.
this will be good. Yep. Sim, the big thing for Sim is he needs to find his way into Cabana.
Yeah.
I'm assuming what Sim plans to do here is after doing Angular, he plans to go to Ice Ring. And after Ice Ring, he'll be...
Sim did Ice Ring already.
Oh, I apologize. On his personal tracker, he doesn't have the Cabana.
Yeah, no, he didn't mark it, but he just did. Just did Ice Ring.
Gotcha. Honestly, at this point, just from our knowledge, it's either the last item will probably also be in Wind Temple or it will be in Earth Temple. And at this point, it's just kind of crossing the fingers, hoping that...
Nine's the temples.
Yeah. Just hoping that it's at least in Wind Temple so that we don't have to sit through an entire Earth Temple as well.
Yeah. Let's hope they can go mode one dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Because these dungeons are painful.
They are. Because we did have the worst dungeon set today. We had Tower of the Gods and both temples, which are the 3 longest. Usually, in terms of speed, depending on items, Forsaken Fortress will always be the fastest, followed up by Forbidden Woods. And then DRC is usually about that third. And then I would usually say from there I would go Wind Temple, Tower of the Gods, and Earth Temple, but you could swap Earth Temple and Tower of the Gods depending on your item load and how much you end up having to do.
Because if Tower of the Gods is like, you've got Leaf, that cuts down significantly.
Mm-hmm. It also depends on go modes, because Earth Temple go mode is huge. Whereas Earth Temple is one of the longest dungeons to have to full clear, it's one of the fastest to go mode.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like we've got Elijah committing to Wind Temple here. Unfortunately, does not have his last sword from Golf. So, if he ends up finding both items in here, he will unfortunately still not hit go mode until he does Golf.
Yeah.
And yes, Bido Mail, that is the other thing about Earth Temple that is a little rough. Bido Mail, it requires 2 things. You need Note to Mom, and you need to have beaten Jahala.
Already saw that Note to Mum was useless. So that's... yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it could still be good for Bido Mail. We just hope that it's not. Also, that is an immediate spiky chest.
Lil Macar waddling.
And we got our light arrows.
Arrows.
That's a big find. So all that we need now for no mode on Restream is a shard.
Yeah. I'm happy to see these dungeons because these were some of my favorites as a child.
Whereas my big thing, I'm not, after my many years of playing this game as a Wind Waker randomizer boomer, I could go without Tachi. But I do think that both Earth and Wind Temple have some very cool things to them. I actually am in the minority where Wind Temple is one of my favorite dungeons, personally.
Wind is one of my favorites, yeah, as well. I just love the theming of just Wind and Earth Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the theming revolves around both like beings, Makar and Medley, I just really like how it revolves around their ancestors.
Mm-hmm. It's very thematic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great design aspects about both of the dungeons.
I'm happy about one thing since I haven't really started practicing all the shenanigans like storage and stuff. Is that I don't have stuff like Tower of the Gods just be ruined by the fact that I'd actually rage at not failing glitches.
Mm-hmm. There's one thing about Tower of the Gods, although it is probably the longest dungeon, it is also probably one of the easiest. There's not a lot of crazy strats except for the 4-1 skip, which is actually not even that hard. It's just, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Other than that, Leafless, it is hard. I will give it that. But if you have Leaf, it's actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just kind of walk through the dungeon. Blah here is quick spinning the ice. I'm not sure why. Spinning the ice is pretty slow, and you need the fire and ice arrows to do anything inside of it anyways. I'm not sure if she got the fire and ice arrows. Oh, is she out of arrows? Oh, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, because the chest is it is like not surrounded by fire anymore.
Okay, I take it back. That does make sense. But it does feel bad. And so Crystal is here in the cabana. We'll have the hook shot. So that'll save a little time over Elijah. If I were to take a guess, I'm going to assume that Crystal will probably be our second person inside of Wind Temple. But Symphonic could also surprise me. So
Symphonic would be in a good position because he has basically everything apart from a couple of shards.
mm-hmm. The big thing about Elijah being in Wind Temple so much earlier than the other runners is just that Elijah does have a few more overworld things to take care of.
Yeah.
Mainly being the leaf checks. But Elijah does have all of the fire and ice checks done. I'm pretty sure he just straight up full cleared all of the overworld he could do before going into Tower of the Gods. So the more I'm thinking about it, with the Great Fish Foolish and having the Skull Hammer, I think Golf might be his only overworld location left. which is also a little scary because he could opt to try and skip it.
Yeah, which would be painful.
Yeah.
But for now, we could hope. Honestly, the best would be a shard in here, like right now.
I think
Ooh.
for Elijah would have to pray for the shard to be on kill all enemies, and then that he actually does golf. We do have Crystal here going to Wind Temple. Crystal also does not have the golf sword, so
Crystal and Elijah having really similar routes. We have one side of Restream is one route, and the other side of Restream is the other.
that's exactly what I was thinking. The only main difference is that Blah and Symphonic have shown off some different things.
Yeah.
On just having storage versus not having storage.
Different routes, different strats, same route.
Yeah. That being said, we are getting near the end of Wind Temple here. We're not finding a lot else.
No. The shards could be on Earth.
That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen at this point. That being said, Elijah does not have a second small key. Was one of them hinted and I'm not remembering it? Did he just opt to skip it?
Don't know.
Either way, he's not going to need it because he did that nifty little out of bounds to skip the small key he needed to get into this room. All right, and we've got Symphonic right behind Crystal going into Wind Temple.
Yeah. Which would... I have no idea which shards... oh yeah, no. Symphonic is also missing only the final shards.
Yep, so the thing is, Sim has the final sword from Golf, which will be a big advantage for him.
Sim is in the lead right now, looking at things.
In terms of items, yes. In terms of progression, I would actually put Elijah in the lead.
Yes, because Elijah is further along, and Elijah is also only missing the final sword from Overworld.
Yep. If Elijah opts to do Golf before Earth Temple, I would place him in the lead currently. I would place it very close between Crystal and Symphonic. And Blanc just has a little more catching up to do. Once they get this command melody, they're basically ready to enter Wind Temple, so they are not far behind at all. Big thing for Sim here, though, and this is always the interesting thing having Symphonic on Restream. Since Symphonic does not do storage, the other runners will have an advantage inside of Earth Temple.
Yeah.
Storage strats, that was a nice jump slash from Elijah. Sorry. The Earth Temple routes with storage do end up saving a lot of time. That's a spiky chest.
Like, okay, so let's hope.
Yes. Last shard. Okay.
Last shard. Okay, go mode Earth.
So here's the thing.
Good.
All this depends on now is, will Elijah and Crystal do Golf before they do Earth Temple?
Oh, please. Oh, we might. That's going to be a... Depending on the order of things, that will put...
The biggest thing is this: the person that actually benefits the most currently is Blanc.
Yes.
Because unfortunately for Symphonic, despite the fact that he will be able to go mode Earth Temple, since he does not do storage, he still has to find the big key.
Yes.
So if the big key is somewhere gross in Earth Temple, that's gonna basically even any time out if either of the other two do not do golf before going to Earth Temple.
Yeah.
Unless the big key is in the early stretches of Earth Temple.
Which is always an option. It seems
So,
like Young is going to finish off Overworld.
Not a bad play. Being safe in a qualifier is usually the way to go.
Yeah.
Also, we are in Mulgara right now. Make sure you get your cat jams in chat for one of the best tracks that Nintendo has ever graced us with.
And one of the coolest bosses in the game as well.
The craziest thing about all of this is we did not get an Earth Temple Baron hint.
True.
So it would not be the most egregious thing for someone to say, Earth Temple is not hinted Baron, there's a very good chance it has something.
Yeah,
with how Baron waiting works in Wind Waker, if it has more checks, it is a little more likely to be hinted Baron. I can't remember the exact numbers, but usually locations with more checks are more likely to be hinted Baron than others, but that does not guarantee it. And also, something else to consider, there are some items that, if it is inside of Earth Temple, or inside of an area in general, it cannot be hinted Baron. And that includes things like extra bottles or wallets. So if there's an extra bottle inside of Earth Temple, it will not have the option to be hinted Baron no matter what.
yeah. I mean, we might see it.
Tingle statues that are useless, there's actually a check in place for them. So it will be hinted foolish if it's in there. If I remember, the only items that do not have checks currently are extra bottles and wallets. The Banadied, because it messes with entrance rando. And I'm trying to think of... I feel like there are some other ones that are not coming to my mind.
I have no idea. I cannot help with this, sorry.
Yeah. Alright, moments of truth. All eyes are on Elijah. We'll warp to outset here. It's just a matter of will he go left or will he go right?
You. Please.
And the answer is neither. He is going straight. So there's something on outset, probably note to mom. Gotcha. He's going to check the mail. Mm-hmm. Although if he's taking the time to check overworld things like note to mom, I would not be shocked to see him go to golf right after this.
Which is the better play? Because no one wants Earth Temple. Well, no, let's precise it more. No one wants a full clear Earth Temple.
This is still going to be an hour 40 to 45-ish seed. I would more say this is going to be around the 145 to 150 if Elijah goes to golf. If Elijah does not go to golf, there's a good chance this will be over 2 hours for him.
And for most runners. I think right now the...
Oh no!
Yeah, I was going to say the only runner that could save us from a 2 hour seed plus seed, it was going to be Elijah. Well, at least on restream. For all we know, in like 5 minutes, we're going to have someone that's off restream finish.
Mm-hmm. There's a very good chance that someone will finish before. Like there are in a 23-person race, there will be someone.
Always. I don't think there's been someone that on restream that's actually won one of the
Not yet, no.
qualifiers yet. So this is also the first qualifier with like long dungeons, because all the other qualifiers have had like Forsaken Fortress and Forbidden Woods, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this is easily going to be one of our longer qualifiers. However, I could see a runner at least getting around a 145 to 150.
Yeah.
I did not actually look at the race room to see who all is in. There are some runners that, depending on their choices, could also maybe even get like a 140 and could finish in the next like 5 minutes. Never know. It all depends on what you got to skip and how well you played.
Yeah, I'm currently going through. I'm seeing. I'm trying to find out if there's anyone that who actually like either forfeited or not, but it doesn't seem like it.
And we obviously won't spoil it for anyone here watching.
We won't say anything since we've got a lot of people. And spoilers are never fun.
Right, but we do have Blanc finally full clearing the rest of the overworld and getting to join everyone here in Wind Temple. Crystal has been trying to get this out of bounds hookshot clip for a second here.
Yeah.
There we go. Unfortunately, the fan started right as she got up there, so gotta wait a little bit before, and that's just even more unfortunate. Unfortunately, by the time she clips back in, the fan, is going to start again.
Good.
A place to see everyone else that is part of the race. You can go to racetime.gg, go to the Wind Waker category, and you'll see a list of runners. You'll see a race and a list of runners that are running this qualifier. There are some people in this qualifier that I'm super excited to see. Some people doing their first qualifiers today. Some people that I haven't seen around doing any of the qualifiers or even any of the casual races yet. Some new names, some names that we've seen a while ago. There are a lot of people doing this, and if you want to be a part of it, feel free to check out the Discord.
Yeah, looking through, I can see some like returning faces, some people I've seen like ages ago when it started, and even new people, which is always good.
Now, there are a lot of great things happening in the Wind Waker community, and even if some of these things aren't like up your alley, if you take a look and say, "This is cool, but I really don't like playing with glitches," or "I need something that's a little more of a thrill than just typical Wind Waker settings," there are some exciting things going on, especially with Tanja's custom builds. Keep yourself updated with what's going on. Like, I am super excited for the future of Wind Waker Randomizer, because there have been some great things happening this year.
Yeah. It helps that the Wind Waker Randomizer was if I recall correctly, the second one to release publicly.
It was definitely one of the first ones.
Yeah.
I've been playing Wind Waker for over 3 years now, which is
Yeah,
maybe
it's
a
been
long
a
time.
moment.
But I'm considered like a very old Wind Waker player, and I didn't start until season 3. Like this randomizer's been around for a while, and there have been some great things happening.
It's been around for a while, from back in the day where it generally was just let's randomize settings and not even have race mode, and that was something to watch.
Interesting. Wait, no, not interesting. I was gonna say, wait, Symphonic has 2 shards left? Yeah, 2 bosses.
Yeah.
That was a little brain fart on my end. But that is Go mode for Symphonic. Our first runner to get full like Go mode other than boss rewards. So it's just going to come down to where the boss key is in this in Earth Temple.
And as Vimilia is talking about helping commentate and track, please check out both our trackers, which are Vimilia and If the Command Work and Lyric. And also check out my co-commentator, Tuba, which has been helping me keep track of everything, which is fantastic because, as some people saw yesterday, I have short memory.
The double cat jam going on here. But one of them has just finished. So the hope is that maybe we can swap over to the other one.
The power of
There we go.
music.
Mm-hmm. One thing that we still haven't seen yet. Oh, we have a first place finish. Butterlord in first place with a time of 1:41.23. That is a good time. GG.
That is really good. GG.
Butter is someone that we are definitely going to need to keep an eye on as Season 5 starts. He is someone that's a little newer to the Wind Waker randomizer racing scene. He is also someone that has done some crazy, crazy improvements. He's also just a chill dude. So GG's.
GG. Wow. That is impressive. That is really good time for this seat.
And there are some big names in this race.
Yes.
So to get first in this stacked of a race is something to be like very happy about. Speaking of the man himself, there he is, GG's Butter.
GG.
So at this point, we do have Crystal going to golf before Earth Temple.
So Crystal taking a small lead over... Nah.
It depends on what Elijah does here.
Yes.
Here's the thing, we have had our first finish. So every other runner right now in this big of a race might see that finish and go, What did Butter do?
Yeah.
Something happened here. What happened? And so you could see Elijah make a metagame play here. It does not look like he's going to go back out to golf. But you could see something like, okay, I don't think at first place did left side. I'm not going to do left side. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Other person to really watch here is Symphonic.
Yes. Because Symphonic is going to do the tempo as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. So the big thing here is Symphonic is inside of Earth Temple because of the Warp Pot, faster than Crystal. However,
Crystal does storage, and Symphonic doesn't.
Now, that being said, just because Symphonic doesn't do storage doesn't mean he won't ever do storage.
True.
We saw him do storage for Season 4 whenever he made Top 24. We could see him do it again.
True.
Maybe the temptation of a full Go Mode Earth Temple.
Temptation is real.
Still haven't seen anyone else finish yet.
True.
Very good time from Butter for the seed.
Sweeping everyone else by a good 5 minutes. Which is impressive.
Very, very impressive. Okay, there's another finish.
Well,
GG's to Advocate.
GG Advocate.
That is another name in Wind Waker Rando that showed up around Season 4 and got into the Challenge Cup and just started absolutely dominating. A runner to be looking out for. Has a very good chance to honestly sweep the entire tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah. Too many good people. Too many good players.
That is one of the exciting things about the amount of people. There are just a lot of people that just get really good really quick.
Yeah.
It does not look like Symphonic is going to do storage. Going to stick to his principles, even if it might lose him a place on the restream. Also, another thing that I'm kind of shocked about, we do see Elijah committing to left side here.
True.
Elijah is
GG Gymnast in third place, 146.49.
GG's to Jim. So, we all know Jim. Jim is a very, very good runner. Yeah. Kind of placed a little lower in his first qualifier, but I think a lot of that was because he's been busy with a lot of other things, especially with preparing for SGDQ with the All Dungeons run, which unfortunately he did get sick for, but Linkus took over very well. Did not get a lot of practice for this but has and a force to be reckoned with coming right back because it is, of course, Gymnast.
Yeah, with a really, not even that low of placements. It is Gymnast. He placed 6th on the first one and 3rd on yesterday and today's one.
There's Tanjo. We are starting to get finishes.
Okay, finishes are starting to roll in. Sub 2 was saved. I'm joking. Sub 2 was saved. We have Elijah sadly doing not the right choices.
That's a deluxe box.
Wait, so in logic, that means that Earth
Claire.
Temple is needed for one of the shards in logic, since you need. Don't you need Deluxe Picto to get top floor Lenzo access? Or am
No,
I?
but you only
No,
need one.
okay. Okay, I was completely mistaken there. GG's to
But-
Claire for finishing in 5th as well with a 148.22.
That's a great finish for Claire. Claire's been doing a lot of things in the last few months. We haven't seen her around the Wind Waker scene for a little bit, but she just decided to do a little bit of D-Rust and come right back, and, well, the results show Claire is still good. So, that is Go mode for Blanc. I think we do officially have everyone in Go mode except for Elijah. But Elijah has full cleared all of Earth Temple and will not be very far behind. Probably is just going to check the Vital Mail, and then I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a full last location, since we know that Hyrule is foolish.
Yeah.
We have seen a couple forfeits in the race time room. I'm wondering if a lot of people made the same plays that Elijah did.
Yeah, probably. I think that seems like most logical.
Mm-hmm. Golf is a very common deck to want to skip. Whenever it pays off, you save yourself like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, because it takes a long time to sail there and a long time to do.
True.
But, being said, sometimes it's got something. That's rando.
It's random for a reason.
Yep. Some days it saves you a lot of time to skip it, and some days it loses you a lot. Actually, I think Elijah has the lead here, but it's honestly kind of close between Elijah and Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal being able to go mode Earth Temple did save her a lot of time. She did have a lot of unfortunate things happen early. That kind of forced her to fall a little behind. Would put Elijah as ahead in terms of being on Restream.
Yeah. I think on Restream, Elijah has a clear lead.
Mm-hmm.
But
Claire coming in.
It could come down to execution, depending on how fast Crystal manages to kill Johala.
Hmm. Yes, Claire, thank you for coming in with the raid. Elijah with the sword.
Yay. Regretting life choices right now. It's gonna be interesting to see, to hear what Elijah has to say about sword placement.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, it's probably
Armageddon finishing with a 153 on the dot. GG.
GG Arma. Elijah probably would have to play absolutely out of his mind to get sub 2. at this point.
Double crip, perfect shots on Puppet 1.
Because usually Hyrule takes anywhere from 7 minutes to like 7.5. It is possible to get sub 7.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah. He entered the warp at about 1:35:07.
Yeah.
So unless he plays like absolutely perfectly, I don't see it happening. He's still going to be extremely close. And for a full clear with a couple things. A full clear with the slowest dungeons with really awful placements for like the leaf, the hook shot, or things that could speed things up early. That's still going to be a very good time.
So if sub 2 is achieved here by Elijah, it generally is just like the perfect high roll execution.
Exactly. And we do have Crystal entering about 1.5 minutes behind.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Earth Temple Big Key is not being kind to Symphonic right now, so I think this might be it right here.
Yeah, let's hope.
Couldn't quite tell from the silhouette, but I think it looks like a key chest to me. That's a key chest.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the big key. Symphonic will be done. Didn't have to go to left side, didn't have to do the slow basement checks. So it's like a pretty average big key if you're playing storage lists. It is. Yep. Storage makes it pretty easy to just walk straight through. For like every single big key can be skipped. One of them can even be skipped without storage, although it's much harder. Actually, 2 of them can, but they're both much harder. Yeah, since we allow storage, anything concerning storage goes for the most part. So that includes being able to just skip the big key.
Elijah about to start puppet gunning.
Ooh, Sin barely missing the spike pillar there. Can't just throw blindly. It has to be into one of the big spike ones, otherwise what you saw happen will happen.
Yeah.
Do have PG1 coming out, kind of trolling Elijah a bit, but still very clean.
Very clean.
Well, chat has proved me wrong yet again today. Apparently every single big key skip can be done without storage. Whenever we see it happen in a rando race, that'll be the day. That will be the day. But another day, another leafless tot G.
Familiar, don't worry. This is your first and probably last seed. Rolled.
Alright, that is done with Jahala for Symphonic as Crystal enters. Elijah with a single crit. Crystal barely missing that first shot. PB Pixel, 7th place with a time of 1:58.26. GG's.
GG.
That's a very good time.
Really
Love
good.
that.
Always good to see you sub to. Especially on like longer seats.
Pixel was another one of those runners that wasn't quite sure if she was going to end up doing season 5 or not, but I mean, hey, seeing this finish, top 7 in a 23-person qual, that's pretty good. So I'm just saying. Can someone discover a pig yeet for the second command skip? That's awesome. I would love that.
That would be amazing.
All right, so first phase of Puppegator down for Crystal. Elijah with a clean rope climb. Sim going right behind, just about to enter the Hyrule Warp.
2-hour mark coming up.
This will still be within a minute of sub 2. Close, but
Yeah, close.
I do think this was the third qualifier out of 4 with Leaf either in or behind Tachi.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Which is not fun.
Not only has Tachi been in 3 out of 4 qualifiers, maybe all 4. I did not see the one.
Temple-wise, Tachi has
can't remember.
been. Temple-wise, Tachi has been in all 4. I'm pretty sure.
That.
But Leaf has been in Tachi 3 out of 4 times as well.
Alright, and GG's for original Elijah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I recall correctly, GG Elijah, if I recall correctly, Dragon Roost has not a beard as well. As a dungeon, and is the only one. Yeah, no DRC has a beard.
Oh my goodness.
Huh. So we've either had one of the fastest scenarios or one of the slowest. Fun.
Alright, so Elijah finishing in 8th place with a time of 2 hours and 51 seconds.
Everyone would prefer loaded Forsaken Woods. Everyone.
Oh, Sam, no.
Ah, no, it's in. No.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's sad for.
LeBlanc is about to skip the big key and enter Jahala. About to enter the Ganon fight.
Hello, and GG Elijah.
Yo, GG.
Good see. The thoughts on the final sword placement?
It's just unlucky. I mean, I don't know. What can you do?
Yeah, it happens. That is rando. You still got within the top 8, despite the fact that you full cleared.
Well, you know. Yeah, sometimes you got a full clear. I mean, it's, yeah, sometimes you got to full clear the seed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, and GG's to Crystal. Time of 2:03:04.
GG.
Crystal.
I was honestly more upset about mispeaking the peak of Headstone than I was about where the sword ended up being. Like, that was, like,
Yeah.
I thought the top of Headstone was, for some reason I thought it was the command melody. I thought it was a Wind Waker looking thing. And
yep.
Yeah, so it was like that was a more upsetting mistake than not going to Horseshoe. I think not going to Horseshoe is pretty reasonable, but
I would agree.
Yeah, true.
But mispeaking the top of Headstone is unforgivable.
I mean, other than that, you played pretty well. You ended up full clearing the overworld before entering Tower of the Gods. I think that ended up working out for you just then.
Yeah, my thought.
And GG.
GG Crystal. Yeah, my thought process with the tower or the full clear the overworld before Tower of the Gods was basically, since I knew the hook shot was locked to one of the pearls, it just didn't make sense to go into Tower of the Gods until I had the hook shot. I mean, or until I found Leaf, so that way it wasn't slow. But
Unfortunately,
Imagine going
wasn't
into
nice.
Tachi before Leaf. Or for Hookshot. GG, by the way.
GG.
Dude,
Crystal.
I
Yeah.
went into Tachi and then I left like an idiot. I'm like, I don't want to do 4-1 skip.
Both of you
This-
had the same route, honestly.
And I'm like,
Really?
so sad.
Well, I mean, no one likes Horseshoe.
It was really unfortunate that Leaf was there. That's the second time Leaf has been there. And that's the second time I have left Taji
I had one.
to go
I had
find
one.
Leaf.
I had one the other day, like a week ago, where I went to Horseshoe and it had the last go mode item, and I skipped all Earth Temple, and I won the race, and then I had one today where the opposite happened. So I guess it's even now. You know, I'm
Dude.
even. So.
I'm so upset.
Yeah. Oh,
I went so early too.
oh, it was really interesting because like it really was like a split down the middle, where the two of you opted to not do anything beyond floor 1 of Tot G until you had nothing left. Elijah just straight up didn't go to Tot G until that was all he had left.
Yeah.
I was like, I got the hook shot and I was like, well, I'm not fucking going into Earth Temple or Wind Temple without Leaf. I'm just not doing that. So Tot G without Leaf it is. And that was...
Yeah, I don't remember. I went like 30 minutes in or something. Probably earlier than that. Like I went super early and then I left for when I was like, I'll go find it. And then after I realized the hammer was on Tree Branch and Command was in Cabana, I got so afraid because I was like, oh my god, this stupid Leaf is in Tachi again.
Awesome.
I'm pissed off.
Some iron placements were disgusting this season.
Dude.
Yeah,
You had the full clear Wind Temple.
I wasn't a big fan of the seed in
I
general.
wasn't
honestly.
either.
Like,
kind of sucks. Sorry, Vimy. I love you, but you're not rolling more seeds. And
yeah.
Also, GG's to Shizuka, 10th place with a time of 2:06.28.
GG.
GG, dude.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where it was kind of like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I hated the seed or whatever. I'm just kind of like, it just was like whatever. It just was like another seed. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
I'll go here and go, I hate it because it sucked. Dude, I don't know what part was good about it. Because, like, you had fire and ice arrows on Needle Rock chest. Leaf was stupid. Wind Temple was dumb.
yeah,
because you have some in the very beginning and then at the very end.
I got Fire and Ice on Needle Rock too, and that was a little like, huh.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was kind of like, this is just so like crazy, this whole thing. So.
Yeah,
like,
I thought about DNFing a few times.
I
was like, that wouldn't been good.
Go for it, sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead.
The biggest difference between the two of you was, well, not between the two of you, between you two and the other two on Restream is you both ended up having fire and ice arrows, if I remember correctly, before going through the rest of Tot G. Lion Symphonic actually ended up getting that leaf pretty early.
Yeah.
But then unfortunately, a couple of things happened here and there for both of the runners. the biggest thing was Sim was actually the first person on Restream to get Go mode.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
interesting. I'm gonna assume something happened in Earth Temple.
no storage.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing that happened in Earth Temple. This is why we do storage, boys and girls. Joking.
GG Rick on 11th place with a time of 2:07.
GG to Rick.
Dude, yeah, GG. Dude, I think I just like my fault. I went in like 35 minutes in, and then I left, and I never came back to like after an hour.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't even think I went to top G until like 55
The hour
minutes or
mark,
something
yeah,
like that.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, Elijah was no dungeon until really late.
I was like, this is either genius or it's going to completely fuck me over. And, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
GG Sim, by the way.
Here's Symphonic Link, 12th place, 209.24.
we have had pre-seeds with the dumbest item placements. I'm sorry. Today was a Leaf in back half of top G. Yesterday we had Grapple on Bird's Peak for some reason, because that was logic.
It does.
First seed I don't remember, but something was on Lanzo and it was useful.
Yeah, it kind of feels kind of in line with the season 4 qualifiers because they all felt like they were like really terrible. Too.
I forgot about that. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what it is. It's just qualifier luck, and it's not just in Wind Waker.
We should just not have qualifiers anymore. Just
Dude,
don't bother. They're just terrible. It's not fun. The seeds just end up terrible.
The only good one was the one that I rolled because it was a jet seed.
Did they do that on a Link to the Past tournament, and now they're stuck with like they had like 300 players on bracket or something like that. The qualifiers are pretty good to have like a good tournament pacing.
Yeah,
I feel like this tournament 1v1s are going be so interesting to analyze.
Oh my goodness! Especially the later on into the bracket you get. You come down to just like
execution mistakes, just choices.
First off, I want to say that was a really good PG3 by Blanc.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got Dunkle too, so.
I didn't get anything. I got a spin. I got no crit, and I got 5 PG's PG tail was so stupid.
Rip.
It's fine. I learned my lesson. I am not doing another race before this because we did a race before this qualifier. I did really well in that one. I was so happy with that. And I came here and it sucked.
Just stop.
I've learned my lesson. I am not getting bullied into racing.
No more races before qualifiers.
Before qualifier, I will practice. And that's it.
That race earlier today was pretty unlucky too. Just not our day, Crystal, right? I mean,
I know. Dude. Just like we went over some steps where like this is how you win, and clearly Symphonic, you gotta join the waiting room. Oh my god.
I shall start a list of banned seed rollers.
GG.
We have
GG.
GG.
So that leaf, eh?
Very nice.
We do not need. You know how there's like the Disney song. We don't need to talk about Bruno. We don't need to talk about that leaf.
Sim, I just want to tell you, you were the first person to dip Tachi. You were the first person to get that leaf. You were the first person to get Go mode. Then storage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sticking point, ain't it?
Yeah. Like, a lot of good things, like, things went really well for you this seed.
Oh, absolutely.
Get that leaf
really good choice. Like,
I got very lucky that there was not a shard in bottom of Cabana, because I mistakenly thought I had go mode after I got my command. Forgetting I had 2 shards left to go. And so I realized that as I was save warping out, and then I just managed to get lucky and it was not on there.
GG Blanc.
GG Blanc.
Tried to do the hook shot strat in there without the hook shot. That was pretty funny. GG Blanc as well.
GG.
That PG3 was my fastest ever.
Nice.
We made comment on
That's
that.
pretty
It was
sick.
really good, honestly. Like, amazing.
Yeah. So, Blanc, general thoughts on the seed?
Can we not have another one like this again, please?
So what is that? 3 out of the 4 that had force taught G Leaf?
Let's just call it 3 out of 4 done.
Yeah. and like, I think all 4 seeds have had Tot G at this point. We have had 0 with DRC. So
who needs DRC?
Sad.
The first 3 were Top G, Forsaken Fortress, and Forbidden Woods, I'm pretty sure. And this is the first one where we've had something different, which I'm really happy about because I really wanted to see Earth Temple and Wind Temple.
I'm not happy. I wanted Forbidden Woods and DRC and Forsaken Fortress. I didn't want this. I didn't want all the slow engines.
We joked about this before in the race time, and little did we know we jinxed it.
Yeah.
I'm just not talking in race time anymore.
I just want to roll one of these now just to see how bad I can beat presently. It's fine, I've got a good track record. I've rolled like a total of 1 seed in my whole career, and the only seed I've rolled was a jet seed on Minish Cap.
Not gonna lie though, kinda annoyed that Earth Temple was the Go mode dungeon of all Go mode dungeons.
I mean,
it was hinted, so it's a good thing that
we got hinted at Wind Temple being packed to Ganon, so I was like,
yeah.
And there was literally, I only had 1 sword left before going to Earth Temple. Was on golf, so I was like, yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
I also only had 1 sword left before going to Earth Temple.
I honestly, this seed today, I didn't even think of routing. It was just, can I go here and get something? Cool, let's go.
I think my favorite part was anywhere I went somewhere, like 1 check later, I would get punished. So I went to Modern Child to get Cyclos. I'm like, I'll just store and get this. And then I went to DRI afterwards, and I got a bottle. I'm like, oh my god, this is happening. And then I got a Picto Box from Cliff Plateau, and I'm like, oh my god, why does this keep happening to me? It really flustered me really bad.
The mill checks being all barren, mostly barren as well, didn't help because time.
Tanjo, I did as well.
Also, Crystal,
yes.
One thing that a lot of people did that I was kind of shocked you didn't.
What's up?
They actually did Cyclos at Northern Triangle so that they could also get the why can't I think of their name? The Salvage Corps.
That's what I should have done. I realized it afterwards. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get Salvage Corps now? And I'm like,
Salvage Corps is in a few decent places. Like, it's at golf too.
I said, I started for rowing.
I got it at golf.
The thing is now, though, with Paw Print being dead, there's and we don't have subs in, so there's nowhere real, like, you don't have anywhere to sail after Windfall, so you might as well sail to Northern Triangle and do Cyclos and get Salvage Corps. It's one of those things where it's just like, if you have Bow at Windfall and you know Paw Print's dead, there's no real reason not to do that.
Exactly. Dude, like I said, I started throwing immediately. That's what I'm good for. God damn it.
Can I quickly shout out Butterlord for getting a 140 on a seed like this?
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone was surprised, honestly, but I just swept everyone for like a good 5 minutes. Just said no, I'm just finishing. I'm done with this. I'm
Like,
off.
you gotta get that fire nice early, or not leave early. I mean, Overworld's your oyster then.
I genuinely thought that a bow was gonna be in Ice Ring, and then silly me, it's command. Well,
It's funny.
Connect-
Well, it was
Ice Ring.
command
That was-
indeed, and
that
then
was the
it led to
path.
command.
yeah.
It's funny thinking about it because we thought, oh, Windfall is so stacked, this seed could go well, and then no, it took like an hour to get into a dungeon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Just
hey,
like
Leafless Taught G is a great time, ain't it?
Actually, I
Oh,
thought my time.
doing Leafless Thought G twice yesterday.
We talk
Say,
about these path hints as well.
I
These
feel
path
like
hints are actually
people-
super scuffy.
They were just scuffed.
Oh my god, I hated the path hints for this.
So we started off with not Ghost Ship, sorry, Great Sea for Jalhalla, which ended up being Delivery Bag, so you could get into Cabana for the Command Melody.
Oh, I thought it was the power bracelets on Cyclos.
No, it wouldn't
Oh.
have been that.
Because
if it
those
is
were
a-
hinted.
If those
Yeah,
are
okay.
sometimes hint, it can't be your path hint. Windfall Island Mulgara for the grappling hook, so you could get on Tree Branch.
For Hammer, yeah. And that also led to command melody.
Melody, yeah. And then Ice Ring Godin for the Cabana Deed, so you could get
Take-
Command Melody.
So
course.
fucking stupid.
And then Wind
No,
Temple
but-
Ganon.
I've heard all the other shit that we had in
And then
there.
Wind
You
Temple
can't
had
get
a
anything
shard
without
and a bow,
Command
so,
Melody.
I feel bad for people who've ran most of the qualifiers up until now, because at this point I'd have taught G PTSD. Peter
Oh,
the Pan, Parker
Let's
the
just hope we
Panda
get at least
finishing with
one
the 220.
Wait, I've run Wind Waker for a while and I have taught GPTSD, so
yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna keep having Tachi. I'm gonna enter Tachi Leafless next time and be like, I'm not fucking leaving this. I am staying here. I'm gonna regret it, but I'm staying.
Just do what I do and do literally everything else in the game before you do Leafless Tachi. And
I
then
was
you
like,
know you
why
have
am
to.
I- Yeah, and then I was like, well, see, in the thing, I was, why am I doing this? I don't have hookshot. And then I left and I found it on Angular Peak, and I'm like, Jesus.
I actually thought I thought my Leafless Tachi went fine. I'm pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
I usually going after the first Armos Knight chest. I usually can't get on that platform, but I got it first try this time.
I will say, me going Tachi so early was literally just confirmation bias from all the other
Oh my
qualifiers.
Yeah, seriously.
I think
It
the
worked.
thing, yeah, I think the thing that made me most upset is that every time I got baited by Tingle statues.
Oh my god,
yes.
the
Private
single
Oasis
statue
ended that
was
early,
horrid.
and I'm like, oh my god, this is it. This is what's gonna give me a head.
Oh.
Tingle statue. All right, let's go do hop across. Oh, it's this. It must be a leaf. Tingle statue, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, that was
people. Why?
that was pretty brutal. The
Yeah,
Tingle
it was-
statue.
Let's talk about this real
really
quick.
rough.
So we just had our 15th and 16th place, finished 2
Oh.
seconds apart.
Wow.
Pretty good.
That's a tie.
It's a tie, technically,
That's a
right?
tie.
Yeah. G's to Sizzable and Randomite. Completely
Oh, yeah.
just 2 seconds apart. That's crazy.
It's
Can we
crazy,
not
man.
talk about what happened to me in Hyrule, by the way?
Oh, I want to know what happened to
Ah.
Symphonic and Hyrule. Please, let's talk about it.
Can we not talk about the void out?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
now you mentioned
Yeah,
it,
we
we're
don't-
going to talk about it.
I mean, we don't have to talk. We can not.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's.
I didn't actually see it, so I can't offer any opinions. I'm very sad that happened to you. There you go. That's my
Yeah,
that's my
so-
contribution.
I didn't see it as well, so I can't.
I saw
How
it.
did you? How'd you not see it?
I'm blind. I
Screen goes
am
black.
blind
Yes,
and
you're
short
looking at nothing.
memory.
The screen is blank.
Seeing something like that would require me to have to pay attention to the things happening around me, and that's just not.
I mean, I guess it happened at the very start when you're leafing across, and you probably ran out of magic, or you bounced off the thing.
No, I just
And
let
then
go
you
too
tried-
early.
Oh,
All right. I think we're probably about ready to start wrapping up here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go cry now.
Before we wrap up, is there any final thoughts from our runners today?
My final. Sorry, go ahead.
Vim is a mini Trez when it comes to
Present training.
Yeah,
also
please
playing
never roll
Crystal.
seed again. I would appreciate it.
On paper, it is Crystal's fault, according to Vinny, because
Well, you see,
it was a request.
all I'm gonna say is DN. That's it. What do you think that stands for, you guys?
Is it short for DNF?
It's Nehru.
Din's Nehru. We got Din's Pro right away, and I'm like, this is great. And then I got I think I got Nehru's next, and I'm like, god damn it.
Wait,
Oh, I did
realize something.
Tingles.
DNF in Nehru Feror.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, I think
Nice.
that joke's been made. I remember that joke. It's great.
We
Wind Waker Randomizer making everyone's head explode. Fun.
I'm not sure if if everybody else did this, but I did. I didn't even check the hints until I super swam into Islet of Steel. After
When
doing,
you got the island and about the shard, I was so pissed off.
yeah, I did like Diamond Step and then super swim into Islet, and then it was like, hey, by the way, you need to be here, and I'm like, okay, thank you.
Honestly,
See, I checked mine when I got to Windfall.
I expected a lot of people to do that, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Dude, I think a lot of people. I was glad I got
Just
the island.
the thing
swim,
about
though.
starting at Diamond Step is you can't get the hints right away because you don't really want to jump down, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you can
You
just
wanna
go in and
restart
do
all
Diamond
this.
Step. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, you could save first, I guess, and then jump down and check all the hints, but it's one of those things where I'm okay with risking that I'm going to get a hint that says Diamond Step is barren, but doing it anyway beforehand because...
Right, because almost everybody's just gonna do it. You might as well.
Always depends where you want to check hints and depending where you start, because I don't know, I've seen so many types of hint checks. The one that surprised me the most is still yesterday's hint check by Jim by storing the text and just doing it while waiting for Mila. For me, that's just the cleanest hint check
It's
yet.
so funny. That's actually really smart. God dang it! I'll steal that from Jim one time, maybe.
Yeah, I like when you start on Diamond Step, checking the hint in Islet of Steel and doing the super swim. I think that's...
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
also
good.
really good. That's good. Yeah,
Thank you.
I didn't do
think
that.
that's a good strat.
I went to Windfall and then I got that, and I was sad.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yes.
Crystal.
Yes.
What are you doing?
That's a good question. I asked myself that plenty of times during this race. The
wanna know how many
entire
times?
time I was running.
Do you know how many times I
Mila.
asked myself that question in Earth Temple?
Do you know how many times?
You know
How
how
many
many times I
times
asked myself that in Earth Temple?
You know
How many
times I
checks
have
are there
to-
in Earth Temple?
I think we only had 13
13.
this race because we had some hinted dead.
Okay, so I asked myself that question 13 times.
Oh my god.
You
Dude,
and
I asked
me
myself
both.
that every time I failed first song Stone Skip. I
I
am so over that trick.
I might just go back to bringing
I in
Medley.
hell. I will too, honestly.
I'm
At this
just-
point, it's probably gonna be faster
I would
than
have
me
liked
trying to
the
get this
big
stupid
TP
trick.
anywhere other than basement, but no.
Don't
But
worry,
you know what?
guys.
I got the heart container from Menenko or something. So who's the real winner today?
Wait,
Remember- I don't even know where that
Where was
box
even the
was.
last?
It's probably a Nerf Temple.
Yeah, I can confirm. It was an Earth
Yeah.
Temple.
It's probably Earth
Ew.
Temple. No, that's all because we got to go mode it.
Well,
Dude,
not exactly.
no. Where was it?
I don't even remember. It was one of those checks in Earth Temple basement.
I
think
that's so sad.
The harder to get chest.
I can confirm it was almost definitely basement.
Yeah, it was basement because I was like, oh, please let this have the sword. And
See, I just don't see a reality where you don't save in front of outset and then go check golf and then come back. Unless that wasn't your last sword, was
okay,
it?
it was my last sword.
Yeah, I
But
don't
here's
know.
the
I mean,
thing.
if you're going to Earth Temple, you might as well save and check golf, and you can soft reset back.
But here's
Oh.
the thing, right? There's one check on golf, and there's
Right.
13 in Earth Temple.
Right. Yeah.
It's 13 times as likely to have the thing you want.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. And
That's
this
a lot
time
of time to
there was
save.
a
Allow me to counter
0%
with-
chance.
Allow me to counter with, it's Earth Temple.
It is Earth Temple. Yeah.
My counter to that counter is it was a sword.
It's
Yeah.
Pain Temple.
Like, all I'm saying is I'm glad my higher brain, even though it told me to leave Taji without, like, before getting that leave doing floor 1, I'm glad my higher brain did not have me go into Earth Temple to gamble that, having something somewhere. And, like, it's like, thank Christ, because I really would have been mad then. I'm not that salty, don't worry. It's fine.
Right.
I'm not salty.
I'm not salty. No, that's just. Don't worry, my other 2 races are gonna carry me, you guys.
Will tomorrow be as painful?
I hope not.
Dude. If all my races are gonna be painful, I'm gonna cry. Quit
If
winning
I'm,
Mario.
if I'm allowed to, I will push to roll tomorrow's seed so that we avoid something bad and end up giving us something worse. I would love
If I get too, I'm already learning SSR, and so I might just retire.
SSR. Okay,
Oh.
so going from pain to painful.
Yeah,
Um,
it's great. I just,
She just really wants a game that you can actually use back in time effectively.
Oh my god, don't remind
Well.
me. So there's another person running Jasnix, and like he has already told me like, oh yeah, by the way, next time that we like practice, you're learning bit, and I'm like, fuck.
Real question is, if you could go back in time in real life, would you still do this qualifier?
I mean, if I remembered where everything was, yeah, get first place. Give me over 1,000 points.
5 minute.
Boy, Crystal's logic reading is just... I can imagine the commentary now. Crystal's logic reading is just on point today.
Oh my god, she's skipping spiky chests.
I would get accused of cheating. Really, what the heck is wrong with you? What are you doing? I'm just
Well,
lucky.
I'm just thinking about. I'm so happy I started randomizers with A Link to the Past and Minish Cap because it's just the 2 games that just don't require that many glitches to like actually go fast. And then you've got just Wind Waker and SSR, which seem like the biggest pain ever.
Mhm.
Everything's a pain when it doesn't go well.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had a blast at this.
Oh yeah, this
So
is
GG
fantastic.
swag. GG swag.
GG swag.
GG.
GG.
GG swag.
Okay, tomorrow is out of the question.
All right. So, I think that about wraps everything up. I just wanted to shout out a couple people before we wrap everything up. Shout outs to Vanilla and Lyric for tracking for us today. Would not be possible without them. GG's to our runners on Restream today. Original Elijah, CPU Blanc, Crystal Bellis, and Symphonic Link. All of you did a really good job today.
On this amazing seed.
Relative.
Yes.
Relative.
And then, thank you so much, Godlink, for being here and commentating with me today. Would not have been as fun and entertaining without someone else here with me.
And thanks to you as well to have been by my side commentating because this seed was really fun.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. Commentators.
finally,
That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the seed was hilarious. It was awesome.
I'm still laughing
Yes.
right now. Ha 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 ha
So
ha
fun.
ha.
And then, of course,
gonna go
thank
cry.
you to our restreamers. Started off with J-Bone and now ADN. Thank you both for picking this up for us today, giving us the coverage that we so appreciate. And speaking of our restreamers, I think I'm ready to pass it on over If you're ready.
I'm hungry.
Maybe.
Pause, champ.
No. Doesn't want to talk to us.
The restream's never ending.
My turn to free you guys.
Yep.
That we were gonna have the never-ending restream there. That would have been so
you know.
great.
Infinite stream.
Six years later, what are we gonna talk about now?
I let the interviews go on as long as you guys want, especially because we didn't have anything else going on later today. So you guys are good. But yeah, be sure to catch us tomorrow on CSR Main. We've got the 5th Wind Waker Randomizer Qualifier. Yeah, we'll raid Jasnix as he finishes up. And thanks so much, everyone.
GG's.
GG.
GG's.
GG's.
This race.